Hello everyone and welcome to another week of MMO Concept Art. This is your instructor Steve Curtis and I am here with the team. How's it going everybody?
Good.
Good, you?
Awesome. Well, that's a lie. My knees look like I have grapefruits hiding in them, but other than that I'm great. Turns out when you sit in a computer chair for a year, you shouldn't spend a week lifting heavy objects.
Oh.
But we're all done with that now and I can sit in my computer chair again, so life is good.
Your natural habitat.
That's my new natural habitat. I hate getting nature on me.
Gross.
Alrighty, so Wolf, what you got for me, buddy? That was the wolf.
Wow,
that was the wolf alarm.
Interesting time. Interesting.
Sorry, guys.
It's alright.
I presume you have stuff. You have stuff, yes?
Yeah. I mean, it's not overwhelming, but
I think it is. I think you're lying to me. So I'm coming to you.
you can keep thinking it's overwhelming. And I missed anything you said after that.
Said I'm coming to you because I believe it will be.
No.
All right, talk to me, buddy.
Okay. Well, this is the mine entrance. So, and this is actually just put. This is supposed to be like a train track thing, but you know.
Yeah, I'm getting it.
But I didn't feel like doing that. So anyway, like you can, you know, if they want to bring anything or ship something out and go here, and there could be like a road right there. But it also goes right here, so they can. This is the factory. So they can bring whatever they have in there right to here. Now this, you know, obviously it's nothing's finished or anything, but this is the living quarters for the miners and factory workers and whatnot. So I was thinking, kind of trying to think in a modular way, like how all these things, they're like sectioned, so it's like they could like piece them together in cubes or something. You know, I don't know. So that's that was my thought process here, and I was also thinking this is be really hot during the day, and so people wouldn't really want to go out. So that's why they have this this walkway. These are windows. So,
Okay.
So this walkway goes into here, and here is like a little mall kind of place. This is kind of it's recreation place where they, you know, if they break, they come eat here. Like at the top, I was thinking it'd be a restaurant, and a restaurant where you could, you know, big windowed open types, so you can, you know, because they're trapped in so much, so it's kind of nice to have these windows and stuff. And so, you know, food, recreation places, you know, to relax, and you know, other shops and stuff that could just kind of be around here. And then, you know, this is the path to the factory, plus, you know, they can, you know, come back for, you know, lunch and stuff, come back here. So the factory, I was imagining there, you know, it's billowing out smoke and stuff, which probably ticks the Letheans off. Then here, this is supposed to be a power supply thing, which I didn't really, you know, I just kind of set aside a space for it. So something to power things up, and then here, warehouse where they can keep things. There might be a couple of them. and then lookout tower up here, and I put this is
A
supposed to
ship.
be like a little vehicle to take them up there, and uh, so that's how they get there. There's a little platform there, and I was also thinking that maybe over here on this side there could be kind of a uh, uh, what shanty town or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
It's like
Shantytown. Okay.
like uh, a little place where maybe there's some black market things, some uh, where it's like a little Sin City, that so that could have uh, just camp followers and kind of type thing, just kind of sprawled up there. So that would be more makeshift and stuff, but it still would have to contend with the heat. So if there's any open places, kind of like what Sergio had, like little open. What do you call those? They have a little table and little, they can sell wares and stuff.
Flea market?
Well, whatever. Anyway, anything like that, like they could have that because I think like in the evening, they could actually be comfortable enough coming outside. But anyway, so uh, so yeah, I mean nothing. It's nothing spectacular. I mean, I don't know. This thing kind of looks a little futuristic. I was thinking that also the windows could be tinted, like maybe kind of a blue tint to, or something to kind of maybe something that affect, everything isn't so shiny or bright. Just kind of makes things look
Okay.
nice. I don't know, but
Now, are you thinking of this for a general gameplay area or a MOBA
no,
type
behind.
area?
This is
All right, so this is just eye candy basically behind the MOBA
yeah,
area.
yeah.
Okay.
Like up here in front of it. This is where the base would be and all that stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, this is kind of like, uh, you know, why they're here. This is what they're kind of defending. But they put then they build a base in front of it, and that's what comes into play. But you don't actually go over here. I would think there should be some kind of it should be fenced off in some way.
All right. Yeah, we can fiddle with that.
But so I don't know. I mean, that's that. I also I didn't want to try and go into more details. I wanted to see what people's thoughts were on this. If they even like the
Oh, from
idea.
from
Huh?
a from an eye candy perspective, I like the idea that it's very blocky and modular because we can keep it very low poly
Uh-huh.
and still make it look very high poly.
Uh-huh.
So I like that.
Well, I mean,
I'm actually kind of seeing just sliding the buildings around a bit so they kind of wrap around the back of the map, and you can have like the walkway and stuff overhead, like edge out over the map, so it's like actually almost right above some people.
this.
Yeah.
You're saying you're saying you'd want in game to people to be able to walk under that.
Yeah, or just give or at least enough to
Oh
give the
yeah,
impression that it's hanging out over the
yeah,
actual play space.
right. Well, I mean, it's like you could put the base, like starting like right here or something. Yeah, there you go out.
Yeah, I like it,
Uh,
man.
yeah, I mean it's like the the modular type thing I was trying to go for was and of course putting in different textures and details and stuff could enhance that, but just because it's kind of, especially with these buildings, it's kind of a temporary thing. I think there's probably more love being put into the factory because that's got to be functional.
Yeah, that's got to do
But
the
but
work.
but I don't know how much really needs to be on the outside. I'm looking at different kinds of factories, and a lot pretty much look like buildings, except maybe smoke stack things and little things on the side. But some have more like pipes going around that you know that. But anyway, and then I have some ideas on what the power supply thing could look like. So I mean, I could, I'd rather if I I'd rather just work on this on a separate page, just as
Yeah, that's fine.
one little thing if you're interested in
Yeah, sure. I'd like to see what you come up with.
exploring that. I don't really, I have to look at kind of research uh, power supply things, but.
Yeah, well done, sir. I think we can definitely play with some of these ideas and stick them around the... Because the map sits kind of like a diamond, and I think we could kind of arc them around that back curve.
Right. Yeah,
I think it would be very cool.
that was the intent. This is supposed to be kind of curved.
Very nice. Anything else, sir?
I don't know. Unrelated. You could see some of the drawing I've been doing. The Proco.
Working with your anatomy.
Yeah, the Proco, following the Proco lesson things. Just these are ones calls anatomy. This is the one that turned out the best.
Yeah, you're getting very good with that, bud. Nice.
Nice work.
Nice what?
Nice work.
Work.
Oh, work. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. I try I'm trying to do, or at least I was trying to do smooth line. Because he's always saying, don't do the little chicken scratch things, or the little sketchy tiny lines.
Yeah.
But especially on the tablet, I've given up on that for the tablet. So I find that's like, and like this one turned out a lot better because I completely gave up on that, and because it's too much for me to think about the control of the line plus the proportions and space and all that together.
What you should do normally with that is, if you want a finished line work, that's fine, but first concentrate on the form,
Right.
and the lines are whatever the hell you want to put in there, because
Right.
it's most important to free your mind of the clean aspect of the lines,
Yeah.
and concentrate more on the volume of the character than you're trying to portray.
Yeah.
At least is what I think. I mean, I don't know if...
I mean, that's what I find, especially for the tablet, which it's so much more difficult, and it's like I think having digital work for you, you might as well we have these layers, so it's like you get this, and then it's much easier if I like made another layer and then try to make nice lines over that, knowing where my destination is that's much
Yeah.
easier.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's like,
you can always refine later. That's what I.
see, it's very messy up close. It looks really um, messy, but it's funny because it's like you get back and it looks really nice. So you, um,
Yeah, and that place too. I mean, you have to think where you're gonna put this if it's going to be seen that close up or not. I mean,
right. Well, no, I mean it's like if I was gonna do a finish, this would be my second layer, and then I'd do a third layer where I probably would do a fourth. I'd probably do a third layer where everything was just all the same line weight, and then on top of that I would put heavier line weight because I find trying to do line weight all in
on
with my
one
nice
pass.
lines all in one pass with trying to do it just makes it much more difficult and tend to screw up and do less good lines. But I think you get those lines there and then you then you like think about where you want the weight once you've seen the full picture. I think that's the best.
Hmm. But you're getting a really nice. How can I say this? Idea for anatomy.
Yeah,
It's really good shot. It's,
thanks. Yeah, it's neat lessons. I like I like putting it putting anatomy into like simpler forms to where I think that's really good to draw that rather than to just draw how it looks, which is much more subtle, But it's like when once you get the understanding of that, once you get used to that, and that becomes second nature, then when you start to add, when you start to make realistic rendered things, just understanding what's going on under there uh, really helps you understand the placements and why something like the muscle that goes say over here shouldn't be here. you know
yeah. Yeah, I mean, with practice, you're gonna get um, a second. It's gonna be second nature to you, and you can play a lot more without having uh, to put a piece of information in there, but or in this case, every single muscle. But the
Right.
landmarks are great. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen. I mean, I've seen you progress a lot in the short time I've been here. So
Yeah, you've come along
Yeah.
tremendously, Wolf,
I'm trying.
and it shows.
yeah,
Yeah, it is important to focus on that some because it's so easy to just have your because you have your sights on where you want to be and to not like look back and go, well, I'm gonna just have to keep doing this and keep making that progress. But
I there is an exercise that I would recommend you.
yeah,
It's basically the same thing you're doing, but from photographs. I mean, you grab a photograph, you put it in
oh,
Photoshop and do the
overlay.
same structure overlay in
Uh-huh.
overlay,
Uh-huh.
and I mean, you don't have to do it a ton of times, but it actually helps a lot understanding the volume of the anatomy, especially in posing and all of
Mhm.
that. It really
Yeah,
helps a lot.
yeah. I'm gonna do like he's got what he calls the robot being. I'm going to work on that a little bit. What I'm really excited about, I've watched the videos, all of them, but what I'm so excited about working on is the manicization of the figure. Because it's just really getting, because it's like you look at things and it's difficult. It's getting easier, but to think about, because it's easy to look at the back and just think of this flat plane as the back, but it's like, okay, no, it turns. This is the side, and if once you kind of think of it as the side, and just think about it in simplistic forms, things as kind of tubes for arms and stuff, like this simplistic shapes. It's just easier for you to get the three-dimensional qualities of that in your mind and picturing that. And I think that's going to help a lot in drawing from my mind, when I, do enough practice with that.
Alrighty.
But yeah.
Well, I've enjoyed everything you have brought to the table, sir, and I continue to be impressed with how well you're coming with anatomy. Remember when you first started a year ago or so? I guess it's been about a year and a half, but you've come so far, man.
Well, I started here. I actually I've been working on learning anatomy before that, but yeah.
But I saw where you were then when you started here, and I see
Right.
where you are now, and man, the work shows.
Yeah, nice.
Frankly, you're better at characters than I am now. So, suck it. That's
Yeah, you always know just how to phrase things.
I tried.
That's exactly what that situation called.
Alrighty, Sergio, I'm going to send it over to you, buddy.
Okay.
How you doing tonight, Nick?
I'm doing pretty well. I think I got burned out over the weekend. I've
I
slept
haven't
for
done
like
much.
12 hours the last 3 days.
Oh, good man.
Like, I was meaning to work on stuff, and there's one day where I worked on stuff there's one day I didn't sleep 12 hours, but the other ones.
Yeah, I'm going to be due for it this weekend. Holy rocks.
Sergio, not Sergio, sorry. Nick, were you here to see the background for the human base?
Was that what was behind the figure drawing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe saw it. I didn't hear you guys talking about it, though.
Yeah. Because I'd be interested in your thoughts on that, and maybe even your take on some of the buildings and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll come back around to it.
All right. Okay, Rux.
Let me just close a few things here.
Sergio, when you're going to get a tablet?
I just got one like an hour ago, so.
Oh, sweet.
All right.
All right.
Look at this guy. He's running
Yeah,
Visual
well,
Studio, 3ds Max.
No, because I'm actually I was following the videos on C#.
Ah,
It's just the second class, but it's going okay. I mean, it's fun.
it's a good thing to know. I can't make my
And
artist
it
head
cracks.
do it, but
You could, Steve.
well,
Yeah, I've done-
Nelson has informed me that I am in fact going to learn C# now that I'm here. So I guess one way or the other, it's going to happen.
It's difficult when you're trying to learn it as a secondary or a third trinary. I don't know. Anyway, because when you've just given all your energy to something else, and then you start to do that when you're tired, and that's not the ideal situation.
And just like you were, you got into it because you kind of wanted to learn it, right?
Yeah, I want to make games. Right? Are you talking to me or
Yeah,
Sergio?
yeah.
Yeah.
And I have never had any desire. I mean, not even an atom of desire in me to learn a programming language. So I don't think
Right.
that's helping me learn. I think I'm battling myself. But
Yeah, it really helps if there's a goal in mind. You wanna do something because then you learn a little something. You go, ooh, I could apply that to that. That's cool. I'm starting to get there and see. But it's difficult, and it's difficult to retain everything,
Yeah.
especially if you
Yeah.
don't stay with it. Because I mean, I've been away for it for a while, and I'm just like, oh, I need to go through it all again.
Yeah,
But,
no,
I mean,
I
it'd be
mean,
much
I
easier
have
that
programmed.
time. What?
I have programmed before, but it was a really long. It's more than a decade.
Yeah.
Uh, it wasn't even like this. It was Visual Studio, which is
Ugh.
basically it's English with points. I don't know. Yeah, I did a program that solved uh, formulas for calculating the pH in um, how do you say it? Well, it was for chemistry. I don't know.
all I
But
know is somewhere around 1985, I wrote a short little fractal program in BASIC. And
oh, basic.
yeah, like the first language. And
Yeah.
and I was like, yeah, computer programming's dumb, and I've never done it
Did-
again.
Did you make a what do they call it, MUDs or something?
I made a fractal so that when you ran the program, it would just create a random line going all sorts of that would branch off into
Oh.
different directions all over.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
exciting.
it was all like 7 lines of code. I don't know, and I realized that very first moment that I hated it. So
Yeah, well, I mean, things
Yeah,
have
I wasn't.
changed a lot since.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah,
say
I never was too much into programming, but I had a friend that did. He actually did a program to control in BASIC to control a set of lights from the computer,
oh, okay.
and well, whenever we were together, he showed me, and it was cool, but never really got into it. Anyway,
when,
I
when,
think
when
it's one of
you're,
those things that context matters. Because like when I was learning how to program Java and database administration, I was bored to friggin' tears. But once it was coding for the sake of making a video game, I was completely engaged with that. So
yeah.
See, and the only reason I really need to know it is because Nelson wants somebody who can help with stuff. And I love Nelson. That's just not a very high motivation.
it's going to be a long time before you can help with stuff, though.
I can try and help with stuff, but problem is I'd be doing it all from here.
Well,
So
no, I mean help with stuff like when he's recording VTMs and stuff, so that
Oh,
so
okay.
that I can be more engaged than my current
Oh.
complete lack of knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess I'm going to learn it at gunpoint if needs be, but
Well, it's kind of for me. I was surprised. I've said this before, but just that it's kind of you're struggling with a concept, and when you understand it, it's a cool thing. You just say, oh yeah, I mastered. You didn't master it, but I mean, you got that concept, and it's kind of fun. It's kind of the same reason to play a lot of video games is you're trying keep dying and you keep trying to figure it out, and then you figure it out and you're like, yeah, all right. It's
All
same
right.
kind of thing. So if you look at it that way, maybe I don't know.
I'll give it an effort. All right, Sergio, talk to me about rocks.
Okay. Well, I did follow the the tutorial you did.
I haven't followed. Oh, the one I did, or the one I gave you the link to? Looks like the one I
you
did.
gave me the link, I didn't really got to any tutorial, but I did follow the one you did.
Oh, okay.
Um, I did have a little problem with the texture, but I don't know why that happened. Right now it's just a bump map,
Okay.
but
What's the problem with the texture?
if I apply it, it's just like the diffuse. Only, well, I use the how is it called? X normal.
Okay.
But you can see this was the result. Even if it tiles, it kind of gives me this.
It's
But
like it's like on different planes.
yeah, the thing is, if I put this in Unity, it works. I did another one. I just generated another normal map, and it works here in Max, but not in Unity. I don't know why it does that.
That's odd.
Yeah, but let me see.
So you had one that worked in Unity, but not Max, and
Okay,
one that
Sergio,
works.
just give me a quick second to have something. I think I have an idea as to why that might be. I just have to deal with something here. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
Uh,
for example, let me see. Come on.
Load Unity.
Whoa. Ah.
huh. That's the same rock.
Yeah,
Yeah, that looks good.
let me just let's do something simpler. Let's snoop that and grab everything. And let's turn this on because I'll kill this. And so ah. Whoa.
Easy, Tiger.
Okay, sorry guys.
No
Is
problem.
there any way to scroll that faster?
We should leave it that way in our game just to see how people respond.
I keep running backwards.
And really fast, too.
Yeah, it stretches in some because I took them too far, but
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you stretch them far enough, there's nothing you can do about it. But
I could always do a separate map, but I don't know.
Yeah, you'd almost need one for the tall, skinny rocks and one for the short, fat rocks.
Well, if we can make the texture seamlessly tiling, then you could just modify the maps for each given rock, and they would use, like, if they use the same texture information, you should get a pretty consistent result, I think.
Yeah, I mean it's the same material for everything. In fact, they all come from this.
You can't just tile a texture on a rock, though, because then the seams will show up from the UVs. Just because the tiles won't line up with the UV tiles.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Huh?
So why is it not looking like this in, was that Max?
Because Max does crazy things sometime. I've run into similar problems
Yeah,
with
it's-
Unreal.
it likes to just
just
wig
a
out
bug, maybe?
sometimes.
Well, Max handles normal maps a little bit differently, I think. Sergio, when you get a chance, can you show me the normal map that Max is using?
Sure.
Because yeah, game engines all handle the UV slightly differently. Like Max doesn't do a good job with the bumps from UVs in general. Because I've made like this thing that didn't look very bumpy in Max and brought it into Unreal, and it was just ridiculous.
Oh,
so I
yeah.
had to tone it down.
Yeah, the first time I worked on a brick texture, I made just this. It looked like the tiniest amount of bump in the brick in Max, and I brought it into Unreal, and it looked like somebody had beat the wall with a pickaxe. I was like, what the heck?
Uh, oh, Targa, no. Alright. I believe it's this one. Hang on. No, it's this one. This is the part when my computer pretty much...
You got an awful lot of
Kills
things
itself.
running.
Yeah.
Yeah, and none of them are exactly
did
known
got-
for being nice to memory management.
I just need to make those fancy supercomputers, whatever, that people were talking about, like HP or something, where it's all quantum, basically, where it's using light and fiber optic cables instead of electrons and copper wire.
Yeah, is that coming around soon, or is that like decades
There's-
off?
They're saying 4 to 5 years.
Which for quantum technology would impress me if they pull it off that soon.
Well, they already have the basic like crystalline structure for doing the light stuff, so it's just a matter of setting it up so the fiber optic cables and everything's small enough.
It'll be cool.
Yeah,
when they
just
get
don't
there.
look at it, or it will change the quantum.
Change its state.
Yeah.
This is the one I did in Max.
Okay.
The other one is I did this one. That is generated. This one I generated from the diffuse map.
Okay.
This one works in Unity. This one works in Max. So I don't know.
That's weird.
Might be for.
I think it's because the other one is like the detail's a lot bigger, so Max can handles it better. Then when you take it to Unity, Unity's just like, no, this is silly.
Yeah, but if I put this one in Max, it gives me like separation.
Oh yeah,
So-
yeah. It's. I've seen weird things like that happen all the time in programs where it's just something set up slightly differently, so it decides it doesn't like it.
It
Well,
does this.
Show me that bump map again.
This one.
Yeah. Now that's got the same cross UV as the other map, right?
Yep. Exactly the same UVs.
All right, that's why you're getting lines, because you have a tiling texture, but you don't have a seamless texture.
I did actually made it seamless in this one because I generated from the. Let me just. From this one, which I did, if you see here that it's different.
Yeah,
Because I did it with the.
Yeah,
Rotating the.
Yeah, you can see he repaired the edges along there because it doesn't have that really solid line where the cross would be.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So
no,
it's correct. It's just Max is handling it funny, and I've had Max handle a
Yeah,
ton of textures like that funny.
I've had Max handle a ton of things funny, let alone
Yeah.
textures. So
Like when I was working on that environment map for my capstone project, I stopped using Max to test out textures. Like I would use it to generate the UVs, and then I would test everything in Unreal because Max was useless for that.
It seems like there should be some setting somewhere that might affect it? Because it seems like, I mean, using textures on Max is pretty important if you're going to use that for animation.
There are things that you can do. A lot of people set up a scene particularly for rendering and pull stuff into that because Max can get a little hinky. But yeah, it's just known to. I mean, sometimes it just works awesome, and then sometimes it just frickin' wigs out.
Yeah, it's. I think that's why a lot of people use things like Lightroom and other rendering software, just because it renders things out better than Max does.
That's why Marmoset Toolbag got so popular so fast, was because other 3D things wigged out when they rendered.
Well, and I think that one's also meant to be real time, right?
Marmoset? I've never used it. I've just seen some of the renders, but I don't know if it'll do real time, but I can tell you it does render beautifully.
What would happen if you rendered out like an image of that rock? Would it still look strange?
It depends on the render settings and the lighting in Max.
Yeah, the short answer is maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe not.
Because I've changed render settings in Max and gotten completely different things. Like,
Huh.
and I mean, the renders are kind of supposed to do that, but it even handles texture just radically differently. So the default texture the default thing it uses to show textures is going to be a little bit wonky because of that.
But the default scanline renderer is going to give you probably Max's closest approximation to what it'll look like in
The
a
other
game.
normal.
Yeah.
Here it's pretty obvious.
Okay.
But you're talking about the stretching?
The stretching's a bit
about
of an issue.
the differentiation.
The
different
stretching
planes.
there, yeah.
The stretching's a bit of an issue. The other normal map, I actually kind of like some of the effects that renders if it were not the ones where it's not stretched. But
Right.
Oh, yeah, but I can see the line, like, really, there's a really harsh line in that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
and in some cases, rather than trying to make the whole rock seamless, it's just where do I want the seam so that we don't see it. We can place it so we don't see it.
Well, the problem is with the box one, there's going to be seams on every side. Or with the one he created in Max, whatever it was.
Oh yeah, if you use that method, that's meant to make it seamless. Otherwise, yeah, don't do it that way if you don't mind having a seam, because you're going to create more work for yourself. Then just model out the rock and choose your seam.
No, is that something that you would have to do for each individual rock, adjust where the seam is, depending on how you...
No, I did it on the first. The rest are all clone.
I mean, for hiding the seam.
If you modeled a rock
oh.
and then chose your seam, you could just adjust the vertex points on the rock afterwards and get some variation. Most of the time, though, the best thing to do is to model out a rock that's got a lot of variation from each angle, and mostly just use the one rock, and except for the seam side, spin it and enlarge it. And
Yeah, that's what I did was, I was getting frustrated making rocks, so I just did I had free mud box at the time, so I was doing like sculpted textures in mud box and baking them out with, like, if there was a seam, there was only one on the bottom, and I'd just try to rotate the rock so that bottom was always down or buried in the ground.
Or maybe you have like 3 different rocks or something.
Yeah, but that's we have plenty of rocks now. Like, we can probably just change that tiling texture on the rocks, and we'd be fine.
No, we need at least 50 more rocks.
Yeah, we need
if one even somewhat resembles another rock, I couldn't play that game.
I can tell.
And we know-
I can tell, Sergio, where you live, Wolf.
You could also set up a challenge for Nelson. Get him
Well,
to
we-
write code that would generate a rock, generate the UVs, and apply the texture.
What we should do is have an Easter egg rock that has its very own instance, and when you walk in, it crashes the game. It's because it's so gloriously high poly.
And Richard, between MMO and Unreal 4, I'm not asking Nelson that. You can if you want to.
Yeah, when it crashes, a message comes up. This was Nick's idea. This crash brought to you by Nick.
No, the message is going to be build a better computer, then you can see this rock.
Your computer sucks. Go buy a new one now. And it'd have a picture of Nick, like what's his name from Jurassic
Billy
Park?
Mays.
No, like the guy from Jurassic Park on his screen when they tried to hack in. He's like,
Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. And the horrible, horrible hacking scene.
Yes.
Uh,
Got it.
With Samuel Jackson swearing about hackers. But yeah, I mean, if nothing else, some of the meshes are very good. I'm particularly liking some of the cliffside meshes.
They are actually very simple.
Simple is good. Simple makes us happy.
Let me see something. Man,
Oh, that's
And they're all
a
the
nice
same.
poly count. We like that.
this one is for each rock. It's, I don't know. This is a bit higher because I just grabbed a bunch of rocks. I was seeing what I can do and just piling them. So
Yeah, just playing around.
Make a rock monster.
And doing a rock wall like that, we can reduce the draw on the engine by just using one rock and fiddling it a bit and making instances, and then that won't draw on the engine nearly as bad as you think. I'm trying to get my head back into Unity because we spent the last 2 weeks in Unreal.
I just basically I installed this week. Is the first time I use it. So
Well, you're hopping around all right.
yeah, I saw the videos. So yeah, I also download the UDK and
See, you also get a suck at Sergio because you're like, well, I watched the videos and now it's fine. And I'm like, I had to watch those videos 87 times before I understood what was... I must be a really slow learner. I don't know.
no. I do have one question. I installed this directly free,
Mm-hmm.
and it does have Pro Water. I mean, I don't have the shader, but I can import it.
Yeah.
The regular water, it's...
It's terrible.
Can you even make the regular water make look like
if we
water?
if we write our own shaders, yes, we can make the regular water look pretty nice. Again, for now, I'm not asking Nelson to do that because writing shaders is horrible. But we are going to do it in Unity free, just because not everybody can shell out the $1,500 for it. And yes, you can once you download Unity, load up pro water and get some really cool looking stuff, you can't export it. That's where it doesn't work anymore. So if you actually try and export it or compile it, then it'll just fail on you because you don't have pro.
Oh,
But yeah,
okay.
I think it's their way of doing a teaser to try and get you to buy pro. It's like, oh, that water looks really good, and this looks like crap.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
And then, oh, crash. Give us money or crash. But yeah,
I don't really know.
I've seen in fact, you can even YouTube a couple ways of cheating with water. At least as far as like streams and stuff, where you can't actually get beneath the water, and you can make it look pretty good. But in the long run, we'll have to actually break down and write our own shader for it. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, because that's a big bridge.
Yeah, even using the Strumpy shader editor that they offer for free for Unity, it's still a pain to figure out how to get the effect you're looking for.
Well, you know something's terrible to do when you ask Nelson, and he's just, I mean, he grabs the bridge of his nose and just goes, I hate writing shaders. If Nelson says that, you know it's a crappy job.
You're in for a bad day.
Yeah. But yeah, we will do it and get some good looking water. Probably our first couple maps we'll try to avoid water.
In that case, we can build in a surfing minigame.
A surfing mini, yes, let's go.
Well, you know how in the MOBO games where you go into the jungles and you fight the creep things, there could be kind of an equal thing. You just go to the ocean and you surf for extra points.
And get attacked by sharks. Sharks will be the creeps. You have to surf and fend off sharks. No?
Nah.
All right then. Wow.
You're making it too complicated.
There wasn't enough future tech. That's what Wolf's complaining.
I
Right.
see.
Okay, so we get
Yeah, robotic
laser
sharks.
beams, and then we're good to go.
Yeah. Robotic sharks that shoot laser beams. Now you've got something. That's what people like. They don't like sharks.
What about hungry bass with razor blades taped to them?
Nah.
We don't have a big budget here. We might not be able to buy those sharks with lasers on their heads.
Can it be barracudas?
We might be able to do that. I mean, they sound kind of exotic, though. I mean, maybe we should just stick with, like, catfish or something.
Catfish stings.
How about extra intelligent catfish that can hack into your future tech surfboard and screw you up? Pretty awesome if you think about it. It's the next step.
And
it's the
once
next
again,
logical step.
yeah, it's the next logical evolution of this. Oh, help me.
Oh, the mini games.
Anyway, this is pretty much what I did.
Yeah.
Well, you've had some
I don't
you've
know
had
if
some
the
good
current
playtime
version-
with it, and a few of the. I mean, really, out of that, we need 4 or 5 rocks, and I see at least 4 or 5 that we can get away with.
Cool.
I'm getting this tiled, this texture, right? The texture I put in the light.
Yeah, it looks like
It's
it's
tiled,
styling.
right?
Yeah, it looks like it's styling to me.
If you're seeing lines, it's because it's so distant that you're starting to see the tiling. Because any texture that's far enough away, you'll see tiling. The only way to get around that is to blend 2 textures together of different sizes. And that's kind of tricky. I've never done it in Unity.
Yeah, I've done it in Unreal, but I haven't tried it in Unity. Can you even do it in Unity?
Yeah.
I haven't
There,
looked at their
there,
native shaders too much, materials too much.
there has to be a way to blend two textures together. Just use an alpha map.
If not, couldn't you code one?
Yeah, you could create a new material instance. I just didn't know if they had one that was native with the
Yeah.
engine.
Probably. One would think.
I'm spoiled by Unreal. I don't know what to tell you.
I guess maybe a question would be: is it in the non-pro version?
Yeah, and that could even be a bigger question. I don't know. I tried to quietly behind the scenes talk Nelson into porting this entire project to Unreal 4, so that's where I stand.
Huh.
I didn't succeed.
My only issue with Unreal 4 at the moment is that I cannot run it.
Yeah, that's why I went out and got a new computer. That was everything else ran. That's the only reason I did it.
Now you can use that for free until you are going to
No, they changed it. It's
sell it?
it's $19 a month, and if you sell anything commercially, they get 5% of your take.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool because they could just charge you up front of a huge fee.
Yeah, if you were to actually just buy the engine from them. Oh, and also with Unreal 4 for that $19 a month, you get the source code. Unlike UDK, you get the actual source code, so you can change whatever you want. So it really is. It's the best deal out there right now, I think. But
Yeah, but this is more appropriate for what we're doing, though.
I know.
Yeah.
Can't blame a guy for trying.
Right.
It's just
Now, a friend of
it's
mine
just
was
so
trying to
pretty,
talk me
Wolf.
into
I know it is.
Besides, can you use C# in Unreal?
It's C++.
Oh,
But
Which
I
also
mean-
that's how I got shot down because Nelson hates C++.
But I'm sure. I mean, you'd have to do a large percent in that, but you could also you can always use other languages to in part. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, in bits and pieces. You'll even find the source code has chunks of C#, but
Yeah.
by and large, you're going to be doing it
Right.
with C++.
Either that, or you'd have to be reinventing everything, and if you were doing that, just build your own engine.
Oh, look at this.
I know some people that are doing
the
that.
guy's got Marmoset. Again,
Eh?
suck it, Sergio. You have Marmoset tool bag? I can't afford that.
I always had it.
Suck it.
I was born
Suck
with
it.
Nah.
a little bit
Good
of team
answer.
friction.
Sorry, just a little,
I will
just a
kill my
little
machine
jealousy.
if I do that.
Just a little jealousy showing through.
Yeah, it's old. This one is old anyway.
It's definitely older than the version I have because I don't have a version yet. So
No, I've seen videos of the last versions. Oh, they're really fast.
yeah, they've worked really
They
hard
can
on that.
load an entire OBJ from millions of polygons in literally seconds.
Yeah, they've done a
It's
ton
great.
of work over there. It's very, very cool software. So, who knows? Maybe for Christmas. Oh wait, there'll be 30 other things ahead of that I want. So.
Yeah, I think the
Oh.
next program I'm going to buy is ZBrush, just because it sounds so awesome.
Yeah, you will struggle with the interface the first few weeks, but
Months.
after that, it's great.
I've been told that about a lot of programs, though, and it's not as bad as I think it is, with maybe a few exceptions.
Well, good. Learn it and you can do VTMs, because my new plan of action has been I'm going to source out ZBrush training.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill this.
I can only learn so many. I'm sourcing that one out.
Well, I'm going to I'll update later the file in C file because I think the one I think it's not the latest, so you won't have all of this, but eh,
All right, yeah, update that and throw it in, and here in the weeks to come, we'll start to play around with that.
and I'm desperately going to use a tablet in something.
Nice.
What kind of tablet you get?
The same I had,
Ah, sweet.
a bamboo.
Nice. I'm very happy you're back in tablet land.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I wish I had it sooner, but
Eh,
it's here.
yeah, you got it now.
It's here now. Yeah.
We do what we can.
I can. Yeah. It is alone anyway, but
Well, at least you got one in your hands.
yeah.
Well, nicely done, sir. Yeah, I'll look forward to that file, and then we'll start playing around with some of those in Unity coming up here. I would very much in the 3 weeks before Nelson gets back like to get at least the basis of that first mobile level put together for real for him.
Okay. I was thinking if you wanted, I can, because I don't know how you implement it. I didn't get that far in all the videos, but to make if you have the actual map of the level, I could do the mini maps, the parts of the interface. I don't know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Design that for
Yeah,
the different sites.
pretty much all the interface, yeah, Nelson had just thrown something together in Unity. He did the mini-map that way, too. I don't even know how he built it. But, yeah, I'll hunt up... to heck with it. I'll just create a new one. I wasn't that... The other one was a test one anyway, so... So I'll create a new layout. And figure out where everything's going to be.
Cool.
Anybody else have anything to show?
I'll bet Nick does.
They're not really game related, but yeah, I've got stuff to show.
That'll do. That'll do, Donkey. Here you come.
We'll find a way to put it in the game.
Well, this one kinda is. I drew a space bear. I was bored the other day.
All right.
Nice.
Then I was gonna draw a sand penguin, but I drew Gunter instead from Adventure Time. He's obviously just stabbing somebody with a bottle.
Yeah,
because that's what
Because
Gunter
that's what
does.
Gunter does.
He's a terrible drunk.
And then a half dragon, half elephant seal, because somebody was drawing dragon animals, and that sounded fun.
All right.
And then I started another 2 paintings that I haven't had much time to work on since I started them.
Yeah, I saw the start of that one. I like that.
But
Nice. That could be Alethea.
yeah, it could be. And I've been doodling some giant bugs to put flying around in there. Because someone told me to do dragons, and I'm just like, well, that's lame. Let's do flying bugs instead. Because everyone seems to do dragons, and I'm just like, it needs to be something different.
Dragons have gotten far too popular in concept work.
Yeah.
So I need something that looks a dragon-ish, but isn't a dragon, just to be more creative, I think.
Yeah.
And
Snail, maybe?
I could do that. I could do a dragon's tail, and you'd be intimidated. Like, you would think it looked silly, and then it would kill you a few times in a game.
Right.
You'd learn to fear the dragon's tail. It'd, like,
Yeah.
land on you and slime you, and you'd be like, oh god. And then,
Right. We could have some of the cutest, most harmless looking creatures be the deadliest ones. And
they could look ridiculous, and people would be like, oh, that's hilarious. And then really quickly they'd learn that looks ridiculous, we need to run.
It is the rabbit. Are you daft?
no, that's an Alethean deer.
Look at the bones.
That's not Bambi.
We need to make cute critters, and then we need to make one, like, ridiculously hideous one that people want to stomp on, but when they do it, like, explodes in poison or something.
What wasn't there an MMO or a MOBA that had the rabbit in it?
Yeah, something or something similar. I'm sure.
I swear I remember somebody doing that.
I know there was in the original Asheron's Call. My friends stumbled across a level 100 white rabbit that chased them across half the landscape before it finally left them alone.
You're reminding me of an old animation from, I believe it was from Blur, Blur Studios. That it was like baby ducks, I don't know, and a few large creatures like warriors. Watch them start laughing, and they were devoured by those things. I see if I can find the link and give it to you. Oh, and my computer froze.
Yay!
Nice.
Had to do that.
Should call it a quitter, and then find a new computer.
Steve, did you
There we
want
go.
to want to show Richard's space view
Yeah, I can do that.
planet? I don't know if you had anything else.
I don't even have my tablet out of whatever box it's in yet, so I got nada.
Well, what we can do is when you bring it up, I'll show you how to get to the audio mixer so you can turn the volume down.
All right.
And then I'll make sure subsequent versions have a volume control.
So I would like to see your take on my buildings, Nick.
Okay. They all need to look phallic. You need to put some sort of round structure with a slit in on the top.
Never mind.
You had to know it was coming.
Well,
All I
like,
can
half the
say is
time
I'm
I'm
glad
like,
right now I have a headset on.
like, there have been so many times where I'm drawing something and someone's just like, oh, look, it's a penis. And I'm just like, no, that wasn't supposed to be there. Because people see penises everywhere, even if you didn't mean to put them there.
Load, damn you. Oh, I swore I'm recording. Darn you.
Given the recent topic of conversation, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I have to watch that.
Yeah, I sometimes am tempted to slide in Thursday art group, like my Thursday art group's topics of conversation, and that would be very bad.
Yeah, we can. Kids might watch this.
Nick, this isn't Thursday. It's ridiculous.
It's almost Thursday, though.
Alright.
Okay. Steve, while that's loading up, you've got your speaker's icon down in the lower corner, right, by the clock?
Yep.
So if you click on that, and then your main volume control, if you click on mixer,
Yep.
anything that's accessing the sound card will show up there.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take Internet Explorer and scale that down, it'll take the music down with it. Whenever it's loaded up.
I don't have Internet
System
Explorer. GoToMeeting, my regular speakers, and the recording stuff is all I have.
Hmm.
That's actually
Might be because
spiking
there's nothing
anything.
audio going through yet. But
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Might be system sounds once it loads.
yeah, that could work as a fallback.
Yeah, we'll see what
I
happens.
think I'm pretty sure GoToWebinar is its own thing, so you should be able to knock the music down without silencing everybody else.
Well, we're going to find out as soon as that loads. This is massive, dude.
It shouldn't be. It's like not even 5 megs. Maybe we need to. It's pretty sad. We can go get coffee and the time's gonna take.
Hey, that's a good idea. Everybody go get
Yeah,
coffee.
let me take a break.
All right, I'm going to pause it.
Okay.
Give kind of a modular look, like maybe it's put together in, pieces, kind of this cube thing. But everything, I'm thinking this desert should be really hot, and so everything is air conditioned and inside, and so this is the pathway to go into here, this is kind of like an indoor mall place where, like up here at the top, this would be a restaurant where this huge window things. So it's kind of like being outside while still being inside, and that could be any shape. It doesn't have to be this shape, but and then in here there'd be different stores and just places to just crash and not crash, but I mean just relax and as communal places. And so, and then here's another pathway or a tube thing to the factory. So they come to the factory, but they can also walk back to for lunch and things like that. Anyway, that's just it's more information than obviously the gamers will know. But so the factory, and then this thing that's not finished is the power supply, and then a warehouse here. And I was thinking might be a couple of warehouses. These are the tracks, they're like train tracks or whatever, to bring material out. And it's like, so one of them kind of comes back behind here so it can come into the factory. Then this is a lookout area, and I was thinking that they get there by little space, or not spacecraft, but some kind of aircraft, and there'd be another one on this side. I just didn't do it. And then I was also thinking that on this left side here there could be kind of a little shanty town come up where like unsanctioned things by whatever the company, the black market kind of things, drugs, women, that kind of
The red light district.
yeah, it's just like, so it's kind of a little makeshift place, but it's also it has to mainly be like little indoor places. I think because it's too hot during the day, there could be little stands, things that where they sell wares. I was thinking like at evening people might come out, because it might be cooled off enough that they can come out and be comfortable enough.
Yeah.
And I was also thinking that these could be tinted, like maybe it's too shiny and stuff, so this could be tinted something, maybe blue, or maybe it's like something that makes. I forgot about the sky for what is for for some reason I was just thinking that it was going to be red again, and I was thinking like, ooh, maybe the blue tint makes the sky kind of look blue, so they feel like at home. But anyway, um, that's what.
Yeah, I like the modular concept, but I think we need to show it better. Like I think
Right.
it need to be made out of like shipping container looking things with like the I don't
Right.
know how to describe it, like the cell phone or the broadcasting tower sort of scaffolding stuff on each corner, sort of holding things up, or just stacked along the side. And I don't think you'd have a glass restaurant on the top because that would be really hard to air condition. I think they'd probably have large structures over the top that'd be providing shade, like you'd have big eaves and stuff. So you might have like a restaurant sort of in the middle where you'd have like a deck or a patio people could go out on, but it wouldn't be like a glass roofed place.
Well,
'Cause-
I was thinking that it's just they spend so much time inside, so it's to go to a nice restaurant place where it's closer to being outside. It feels closer to being outside might be really cool, and it just kind of might look cool. So.
Yeah, my only problem is that it's a corporate structure, and the corporate people would probably be like, "We're not paying for that, guys. Find another way to do it."
Well, they might because of morale, you know,
But
have that.
And I think it'd be conveyed better as a restaurant if you had like table, and it'd like go more with the Shanningtown thing. If you sort of took out one row of like those shipping containers around the outside and maybe made those air conditioned or something, so you could have people walking around up there. So it'd be more obviously a restaurant level or a cafeteria level or something, where people could go out in the evening when it's cool, and they'd stay inside when it's boiling lava hot.
Yeah,
Because
I'm not sure what you mean, but
what you do is, you know how you have these stacked modular things?
uh-huh.
You take out a row of the modular things, so you'd have like a ring around, and then you just have like support columns where the corners of the modular things would be. And then the tops of the modular structures below it would be like, basically it'd be like a deck they could walk out on. That way you'd have a cafeteria you could walk out when it's cool. Sort of like...
So you're saying that this would be more the top with some of this cut off.
Yeah, I'm not saying that the restaurant would be on the top. I'm saying they would probably have something for shade on the top, so they'd have to pay less for air conditioning. Like a reflective structure that would be like an umbrella over each building, basically. Not
No,
necessarily
I meant like
umbrella-shaped.
this would be like the top floor.
Oh.
That's not what you meant.
No, like you could take out a middle floor just because you'd want to be lower down away from the top structure, I think, for the restaurant. Because you really, really would not want to build a huge glass dome in the desert, because everything underneath it would be, like, melted. It'd be like putting a magnifying glass over ants.
Yeah, but they spray Future Tech on it. It's Future Tech glass. Doesn't.
Yeah. I think it'd be kind of cooler to have, like,
I knew if I
sort
was
of-
patient.
Uh,
Because
I think it'd be-
yeah.
I think it'd be more interesting to have, like, sort of like a mushroomy shaped human building kind of thing. Just...
yeah. Well, you know, yeah. Like I was thinking, you know, these are kind of boring. Which I like. I'm okay with the warehouse, and it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's, I mean, you could put more detail on the
Yeah.
factory, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's like I would like. I mean, even like the tower. I would like these things to have more of a futuristic touch to them.
Yeah,
But, I was thinking maybe you could work on some of these concepts.
yeah. I'll do a quick, like, 3D model of what I'm talking about for, like, the modular stuff. For those modular buildings.
Okay, so
But
unfortunately I got to
like
check.
power supply, you can work on that. Oh, okay, see ya.
All right, see you,
I gotta
Rich.
get patrol out of the way, but yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Or if you're still running when I get back, then chat with some more then.
Alrighty, man.
See ya.
All right.
Yeah, I could do that. I'm not promising anything fancy, but
No.
I'll probably build a 3D model of it, because I can steal parts from other things.
Right, but I mean, it's just. What about the factory?
Oh, the factory is going to be easy, because, I mean, the factory is probably going to be boxy. I mean, it's corporate.
Yeah.
They wouldn't want to...
Yeah, we can do a ton. We can do a ton with that with just texture.
Yeah.
And also maybe if you have an idea of a better, more looking.
Guard tower.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking they'd put humans out there. I think it'd be like... I kind of like the broadcasting, like the base you have, but I think there'd be like a robot something on top for future tech. So the robots would keep watch instead of a person in a tower.
I don't know if that would convey.
Oh, you make it a giant camera robot, and people would be like, "Oh my goodness, look at the giant security camera! I know it's watching me."
Yeah, if it kind of rotated or something.
Yeah, or if it would occasionally follow a player, that'd be hilariously awesome. We'd have little rotating zoom things, so people.
Yeah, I think that's a little much.
Actually, it really wouldn't, because I mean, you already have turrets that rotate to target people, so you just make the camera occasionally decide to target somebody and rotate to look at them.
Yeah.
So I mean, it'd use the same AI that the turret would. It just wouldn't shoot. It would just zoom in like somebody's watching you, and like maybe a red light would start blinking, so you know they're recording.
Yeah,
Right.
that wouldn't be that hard to do.
But I can see it more rotating to scan everything rather than looking at what one individual is doing.
Well, you could have it just have a passive rotating animation, and then every now and then it could just zoom in on somebody, like there's somebody creepy watching you. Just like, ooh, look at that ass as you run away, and you'd be like, no, please.
Yeah, it could have a little eye like Bender in Futurama, and it could go and it's be right next to the guy. Like, oh, what?
Or you could walk by the security office at some point, and you'd be like, hey, that's me. But that would be hard to program. Be like a kill cam as you ran by the camera. But yeah, I think like putting a dome sort of, or like a sun umbrella basically over the buildings would make them look more futury and sci-fi-esque.
Especially this one, since this is kind of the mall kind of place.
Yeah, and I'll make some shipping container-looking things you could just stack up real fast, modularly, and change the insides.
But like futuristic without looking permanent, you know, looking like it's just okay. We built.
Yeah, so you build futuristic shipping containers that have windows, and suddenly you have structures that are made out of modular things that you could just dump in the desert if you wanted to.
Yeah, trying to put some interesting windows on this.
Yeah, like I think you need more interesting like texture shapes. Like there's giant air conditioning units in there and stuff like that. And then you could have the broken down rusty ones that are the red light district that they've discarded because they can't use them anymore. So you could build the entire thing out of like a few shipping container models, basically.
A few?
Yeah, you'd have a few slightly different shipping container models that you could rotate to face the outside so they look different depending on which way you had them facing. And then suddenly you could build huge human structures just out of a few models, basically.
But you like the basic layout concept of the different...
Yeah, I might rotate them. I might have curvier things so I can make the sun umbrellas a little bit bigger or more interesting looking. But yeah, the basic concept's good.
But the reason I have this in between is so that they could, you know, they go to lunch, they come right here.
So they can have a shorter lunch break. Good job, Carmen.
You evil, evil man.
No, I mean, so they don't have to go through here before, you know.
Yeah.
That. Also, I wanted there to be enough space between these two things that you could see vehicles going this way if they have to, or underneath. Anyway, it's just my thinking.
Yep, that's definitely something I can model up.
Alrighty, yeah, and I was thinking that like the two outside buildings would actually be brought forward, and then they could kind of wrap that back corner of the MOBA map.
Yeah, it could sort of like do sort of like a...
Oh, like these two push back?
Yeah.
And these two push forward?
Yeah, and then you'd have the
ringing.
pipes overhead and...
Yeah.
Yeah, just you'd rotate everything slightly, basically.
This could actually be rotated instead of straight as well.
Yeah, there's lots of things we could do to play with it. But yeah, that's cool.
Huh.
That'd be awesome, Nick, if you could throw a couple things together.
Yep.
Flesh that out.
I might only have like an hour or two to model, but I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be an in-game model, just some kit bashing for ideas.
Because, yeah, I took that other freelance job, so I'm super busy again.
Is that what that other picture was?
No, that was what I was. That was sort of. I wanted to set up a demo for him just to show him what I could do and however much time. But it's for Level Up has that city concept thing that they're doing for an art book prize.
Ah, gotcha. Yep.
Yep. So I'm doing like a medieval village with like weird future buildings, and I'm gonna see if I can get people done like in the foreground where I have like a couple people in white lab coats with a bunch of like basically medieval peasants walking around them.
Oh, cool.
Just, a different take on like a city with wizards in it, basically.
Well, I look forward to seeing that final.
Yeah, that's probably going to be 3 or 4 weeks before I get that done. I'm not sure I'm going to finish it in time.
Yeah.
Like,
what would life be if we didn't have plenty to do?
yeah, my to-do list is longer than I have time to do, basically.
All right, guys. Well, we'll look forward to the kit bashing. Sergio, what do you want to work on next week? Do you want to play with your tablet? What do you want to do? Sergio?
Did he ever come back?
Yeah, he said something in BuzzNet.
Oh, whoops. There we go. Hey, Sergio.
Hi.
There you are. Sorry. You got bumped back over to
Nah,
the other
it's okay.
screen. I didn't see you got muted.
I didn't have anything important to say anyway.
That is not true.
After a certain hour it's like...
Okay. Pack your bags, Steve. Going on a guilt trip.
No, I kind of... I would like to work on the 2D aspect of the interface.
Okay.
And if I can, I mean, I want to do a lot of things. I haven't had a tablet in a long time, and I was going crazy.
Yeah.
So
All right. Yeah. If you want to
I'll
play
try
with
to
that, go ahead.
do. Yeah, and I will try to do a few concepts of Danielle that are long overdue.
Sounds like a plan, and Richard will be happy.
Yeah, look forward to seeing him.
We'll see. I don't know. I'll put something else together. I don't know.
Alrighty. Well, if you just get the first two, that's a full week. I will take it. Wolf, what you gonna give me?
I don't. Did you want me to try and work on?
Oh
some
yeah, the power thing.
supply
Yes,
thing?
I would. And
'Cause,
and since the rest of it is very kind of blocky and modular, I future tech that one up, buddy.
what?
Oh, the logo.
Oh, this one? You mean this
Yeah.
one? For a second, I thought you meant everything.
No. Because everything else
Yeah.
is very blocky and
Right.
Mollager.
Yeah.
Mollager? It's a word now. It's not like I made up a letter.
Yeah. No.
And yeah, future tech that up. Cool curves, nice
Yeah.
lines, pretty colors.
I think you're looking for molecular.
I was actually trying to say
It's-
modular, but
modular. No, I know. I was
or
meant to-
molecular.
Yeah.
All right.
I was trying to be no help.
Maybe you were confused because you're trying to combine the two words because we have modular molecules in future tech.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, so I'll work on that. Maybe I can even if I'm having multiple ideas, I might try and put multiple things. But yeah, we'll see how that goes out, and then see what Nick does, and if the following week I might work on another building if you want.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, we all have lots to do and very little time to do it in, so we will call class here, and I will see you guys next week.
All right. See ya.
See ya.
Yeah.